On the George Street Sessions CD, Volume 2, Clive Russell read a poem of mine titled The Sparrows of George Street, a poem in which I thought about the nature of sparrows. In the poem I'm about to read, I'm thinking again about the nature of sparrows. The poem I'm about to read was originally titled 13 Ways of Looking at a Sparrow. I've been reading recently the biography of Edwin Morgan, Beyond the Last Dragon, and I came across a poem in there that was of significance to him. It is a poem that was published in 1917 by the American poet Wallace Stevens, under the title 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. I managed to trace this poem, and I liked the idea that the poet had thought about the nature of blackbirds, which got me thinking again about my sparrows and their nature. And I wrote this poem to pick up some thoughts about what sparrows are about. However, after I had written the poem, I came across the work of Jacob von Uexküll in a wonderful book titled The Seabird's Cry by Adam Nicholson. Uexküll's great idea was that every living creature has an umwelt, or surrounding world, that is different from any other living creature. For instance, the umwelt of an earthworm is very different from that of a golden eagle soaring in the sky. The umwelt of a human being is very different from that of an elephant. So I added an afterthought to the poem about sparrows, and the poem that I'm reading now is in fact titled 13 Ways of Looking at a Sparrow and an Afterthought. Here is the poem. 13 Ways of Looking at a Sparrow and an Afterthought. 1. A sparrow came to the windowsill, cocked its head, and ruffled its feathers. 2. Not a bird of great splendour, but beautiful, with chestnut back and black patterns in perfect combination. 3. Sparrow sitting high on a neighbour's gutter, trilling its message to the world. 4. Cheeky by nature, a sparrow lands on the road ahead of me, encouraging a deeper intimacy, but bounces away before I reach it. 5. Gregarious birds, happiest when social singing together, and dust and water bathing in groups. 6. A sparrow tries to catch an insect on the wing, fails, and perches disconsolate on a naked twig. 7. A colony, a flock of sparrows on a bush, alive with small birds, warning neighbouring cats to keep their distance. 8. 2 sparrows vie for supremacy on the home bush with no obvious winner, but furious while it lasted. 9. The sparrow is a symbol of simplicity and protection and of joy. 10. In decline in England, the population of sparrows shows no sign of being under threat in Scotland. 11. Admire the beliefs of sparrows that they are most common bird of all. Wrens may challenge, but are rarely seen, while the sparrow's presence is widely proclaimed. 12. The male has a black beak in summer, during the mating season, but turns to yellow-brown in winter. Black is smart. 13. The ancient Greeks associated sparrows with Aphrodite, the goddess of love, because their nature was deemed full of lust. They are certainly prolific. Afterthought. Sparrows have their own umwelt, their own surrounding world that is different from every other living creature in the world.